Today I want to talk about how to put on your ligature, and I know that this has been something that people debate online. Even recently I saw a post, people were talking about what the right way or the wrong way to put on their ligature is, and I have to say that I don't really agree with the conversation in its entirety because there is no right or wrong way. You can do whatever you want so long as you don't damage the mouthpiece, the reed, or your ligature, or yourself for that matter. However, I do believe there's a right way to teach to a student, and I want to explain why. A lot of people are saying that they like to put the ligature on first, like this, and then they slide the reed down, like this. And then they line the reed up to the tip, at the bottom, something like that. And then they're going to tighten the ligature and be done. Now that works great. My reed is fine, it's in the right position, that's all good. Now, that works great for a professional, but you have to remember that younger students don't have the dexterity that you might have as an adult. And one of the biggest things they can't understand is that they shouldn't touch the reed in the first place. So there's an awful lot of touching of the reed that goes on with that method. I'm going to show you my method. First of all, if I am teaching a beginner workshop, I'll normally use a normal type of ligature that has the front facing screws on the right hand side, just to make this a little more evident to the students the right way to do this. So first of all, wet the reed. Always be sure to wet it on the back as well. What I have the student do is put the clarinet on their right leg, hold the barrel with their thumb, give me a thumbs up. Then you place the reed on the table of the mouthpiece, place your thumb against the reed, line up the reed from the sides only in the correct position. I haven't even approached the tip of the reed at all. And then I hold it there with my thumb. And I always say to the students, if you've wet your reed enough, you can do a quick magic trick. Take your thumb off, and if your reed is wet enough, it's going to stay in that position on the mouthpiece. Everyone loves that. But then you put your hand back there, put your thumb back on the reed, take the ligature, and carefully slide it down onto the mouthpiece. And there we are, without ever having to touch the tip or the sides or any other part that's very delicate. Our ligature's immediately in the right place. You can tighten it appropriately and then close the clamp if necessary, or whatever your ligature's like. There we are, a perfect position without having to touch the tip of the reed at all. Now, I don't understand the argument that this is going to somehow cause your reed to chip. I mean, I've been playing close to 20 years. I don't think I've ever chipped a reed this way. You'd have to be putting it on with some extraordinary haste to actually chip your reed doing this. One thing I like about this AK ligature I'm using is I can just open this little clamp here, pop this out, pop this in though, and it's back to the same tension it was before, so that's pretty cool. One other little tip here, when I have kids open their clarinet case at clinics, this seems like a really ridiculous thing to say, but I will almost always tell them to turn the ligature 3 or 4 screw turns to the left before removing it from the mouthpiece. What this does is it will allow for the reed to fit between the mouthpiece and the ligature without any extra fussing, because what always happens is they pop off that ligature, they place the reed, and then they try and jam on the ligature, and that's where you can have some problems. So one of the best things you can do as you're teaching them to align like this is to first have them unscrew the ligature screws. So anyways, I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you at Clarineat.com. You're welcome to listen to the free podcast. If you like it, you can join the Patreon members community for as little as $1 per month. Thank you so much for watching.